We're live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Centered Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And help me welcome David from Tarot by the Bay and Gary from Twin Tarot. If they look alike, it's because they're identical twin cousins.
Yes, exactly. It's all the Irish in us.
Indeed.
Yes. Yes, identical twins. So lovely to have you both here. Good things to talk about. There's stuff in the news, and yeah, great things are happening. And also some whistleblowing things. Yeah.
Boeing, man.
I know.
Tell you what, that stuff really irritates me because it truly is. What's my bonus check going to look like? What's my salary increase going to look like versus people dying? You know, that's up there kind of like with Ford and the Pintos in the 70s,
Yes.
and they did the calculus and say it was more expensive to correct the problem than it is to pay off the people that die because of it.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, good stuff always. So very quickly, I want to thank you all for joining us. And I noticed there's a lot of you that are here from David's channel and Gary's channel. Thank you for coming over and seeing what it is that we do on Taco Tuesday. And yeah, this you kind of you get a little information, you get a little more snark, and hey, there's three of us, so it's triple your fun. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And also, for those of you that are here from my channel, don't forget to go over and like, share, and subscribe to the guys at Tarot by the Bay, Tarot 7 Seas, Twin Tarot with Gary and David. And I don't know if there's any other ones that are coming. Oh, wait.
Yes. I have one reserved, but I don't have the time. I don't have the bandwidth for Tarot Mundo. Wonder how many U's and N's are in that.
Yes. Yeah. You can call it news from south of the border.
Exactly.
Yeah. And whenever you get one that's really good and juicy, you could say go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So what's happening on your channel there, David? Anything coming up that you want to highlight? I know you just did a show over the weekend with Linda G.
Yeah, nothing new is really on the horizon. We just did a collab with Linda G. It's our second one. Our last one happened over on the weekend. And Gary and I were supposed to meet up with her for lunch over in Santa Rosa, but Gary's not going to be able to make this particular journey. So
unfortunately,
so my wife Michelle and I will be going to go dine with Linda G and go hang out for a bit. It'll be fun. I have friends that live up there too, so we'll make a day trip of it for sure.
Perfect. Excellent. And how are you enjoying your time in the limelight, Gary?
Oh my gosh, it's very interesting. It's very positive so far.
Yes.
The Twin Tarot channel has actually done really well.
It has.
We've had a couple of videos come out. We had a great group of videos coming out this week, and today's video just hit the ground running. And so I was a little late to this because I spent the last hour and a half reading and responding to comments on that. That's become a new hobby of mine because people take the time to write a comment. I want to take the time to respond if I can. So it's 99.9% of them are positive and supportive, and you get a couple that are a little closed-minded, and a couple people ask for things I've said or interpretations of what I said, and you take those on the chin, you learn, and you try and do better the next time.
Exactly. I have often said I fully appreciate that I'm not for everyone, and that's okay.
Yep.
That's okay. So, all righty. Well, I thought that we might take a look at the announcement that came out today from Biden, and it is about the immigration. Hold on, I'm going to get the headline here. Biden announces new executive action protecting some undocumented immigrant spouses and children of U.S. citizens. And this was something that there's a lot of folks who are saying it's a good thing. Immigration advocates are really calling it progressive. And basically, the main difference between this order and what has happened in the past is, in the past, as a spouse of a U.S. citizen, if you wanted to get your green card, you had to leave the U.S. and apply from wherever you were. Which, given the way that things have been going, you kind of roll the dice when you do that. Even though you're married to a U.S. citizen, it could be, yeah, okay, we'll get back to you in 3 months' time, or yeah, we have a long waiting list and we anticipate reviewing your claim in 2047. We hope that you're still with us, that kind of stuff. So this allows them to apply while they're in the U.S. They don't have to, they can come out of the shadows more than anything else, right? So they've been contributing to the economy and whatnot. So this is a way for them to get their green card and so on. And I just noticed Willie Mays passed away today at age 93.
Oh no!
God rest his soul.
Say hey, kid.
I have a brief Willie Mays story.
Yes.
Back in college, so here we're going all the way back
when the dinosaurs roamed the earth and the earth was cooling. Yes.
So we're now in the mid to late 80s. A group of us from San Jose State were going up to a Giants game, and as we're coming up to Candlestick Park on Highway 101, this green Cadillac goes bombing by us. It probably, speed limit was 55 back then. We're probably going 60, and he was probably driving 85 to 90 miles an hour. And the license plate said "Say Hey" on it. And I later found out, probably from our brother-in-law, that that's his car. Drives a green Cadillac with the word "Say Hey" on the back of it. So that's as close as I got to Willie Mays, was a speeding car. And he's way faster in person.
Mays in action.
Very good. Very good. Oh, well, 93 is that's a
good long life.
It is a good long life. It is a good long life. So, hopefully his transition was a swift and pleasant one. Let's say that. All righty. So going back to the immigration announcement here by Biden, how is this going to be received by the average American? Because let's face it, there are those that are going to disagree with that. As a matter of fact, I think it was, let me see, I'm just going to bring this up here. Senator Tom Tillis, a Republican who has worked on immigration issues in the Senate, told CNN that the better solution would be to find a bipartisan bill. I think he forgot that there was one that was put forth earlier. And, and it was the one that he voted against. So, and a few other Republicans were asked about it, and oh well, I don't know what's in it. I haven't read it, and that kind of thing. And there's now leading Senate Republicans sharply criticized Biden ahead of Tuesday's announcement. Republican Whip John Thune accused the administration of creating more pull factors with the planned immigration action. They are increasing incentive for people to come here illegally. The executive order is very clear in that it has to do with the people who are already here.
Yep.
And need
to be here. I've been here 10 years. Yeah.
10 years. So, saying that, this is going to bring in more people. Well, hey, if they want to come across the border and wait 10 years, most of those Republicans aren't going to be around, and I suspect neither is Joe Biden. So, Anyway, how is the average American seeing that?
Okay. Yeah, it's funny how they misrepresent what the bill is, and of course, right-wing media is not going to fact check them, nor are the listeners in that echo chamber. So it's now become fact. This is what we have. But let's look. What is the non-extremist American on either side? We can get rid of the left-wing extremists and the right-wing extremists, the ones that are clutching their pearls right now. And what are they going to think about this? Okay, let's see what we got. 7 of Cups. Okay, so we have illusions or delusions. I think those are your pearl-clutching extremists. But you also have, it's a card of integrity. I think folks will look at this. Some folks are going to look at it and they're just not going to be so sure that this is a good idea. But I think if it's explained to them why it's happening, this basically you have to explain it to them. You can't just pass this without giving them the explanation and the sure we could have that person leave and they may not see their spouse again for another 10 years or some length of time. By doing this, they have a priority and they can get back to this addresses that shortcoming.
Yes.
Cross with the King of Pentacles. The other thing you have to show them is why they should care. What's in it for them?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people look at things from a very, it's like, okay, fine. Emotionally, I get it, but they've heard so much stuff about people cutting in line, and they're here to steal your jobs and take your money and do this, that, and the other thing. You have to be able to explain to them why this works, why this is valuable. And likely you have to frame it in the form of not only what's emotionally right, but how it impacts the economy and how it helps them financially with things. That's going to be your key. Yes. In the past, you got the Six of Cups. Kind of, just the way things used to be. People fall in love, they get married, and then you have chain migration, which the Republicans vilified until it was Melania, and then it was perfectly fine. I guess if you have an Einstein visa for the one language, the 2 languages you speak, that's fine. But
yes,
it's just people fall in love, and they fall in love from different countries. That's okay. Currently, you've got the 3 of Coins. This is going to represent 3 of Coins. There are things going on in the background. This is going to be your undocumented workers. And how funny is it? Because this card looks like a wedding card, doesn't it? You've got the celebrant up top and the couple down here. People got married, but one of the spouses is in the shadows, and they can't come out and just be comfortable because they're always afraid they're going to be deported at any moment.
There it is. I was waiting for that card.
Overarching energy is the Hanged Man. It's going to require people to look at the situation beyond what they're told, beyond their gut reaction. It's like for God's sake, man, do we have to? It's like, yes, you have to spell it out for them. They can't figure it out themselves. So spell it out for them. Tell
Yes.
them why this is to their benefit that this happens. And, is it turning the U.S. upside down on its head? Not really. Is it doing something differently? Yeah. And maybe we're trying to do something differently to make things easier on these families. The lesson to be learned is the Three of Swords, the heartbreak, betrayal. Again, when you're in love with somebody, you're married with somebody, to have to be in the closet, and we can ask anybody in the LGBTQ community about this, if they would prefer to be in the closet or be out. And these spouses want that same thing. They want that ability to breathe and be accepted for who they are and not worried about being deported at any moment in this situation here. Outcome will be the Sun card. If it's explained to them, people will understand. It will be accepted. If for no other reason, it doesn't impact them on a short-term basis. There's no, these people get in, then all of a sudden you lose your job, and this immigrant woman from another country is now your CEO and hiring her entire family to replace you. You have to get past people's craziness.
Yes.
And just get them to being, if you get them to being common sense, decent human beings, everything will be fine.
Yeah. I was really hoping that card was the Hangman card was going to come up, because it's really truly about changing your perspective. Because from a conservative standpoint, they're just always beating the drum. Follow the rules. Follow the rules. You came in here illegally. They caught you. Out you go. But gosh, these people have been here for 10 years. They've got kids that were born and raised here.
Yes.
The dreamers. You can't just pick them up and kick them out. The kids don't know any other home.
Yeah.
So you really have to kind of change your perspective on. It's like, okay, should they have been in here in the first place? No. Did we? We probably should have done a better job of securing the borders and whatnot, but we didn't. They're here. They've established themselves. Okay, so what can we do to make this better? And you have to change your perspective from following rules to being compassionate towards people that haven't followed the rules, but have followed the rules since. So I was really hoping that card would come up. So good job, Dave.
Absolutely. And this isn't a case of, this applies to anyone that crosses the border right now. And, they're going to get citizenship. No. That's not the case. A lot of these people have been married for a very, very long time, at least 10 years in order to qualify.
And married to a U.S. citizen.
Yes,
in the
children are U.S. citizens. So their spouse is a U.S. citizen. So do you do what Trump did, which is you break the family apart just for the sake of saying, well, I know that you qualify for this, but go ahead, leave the country and reapply, and we'll see what we can do, and so on and so forth. When we know that the rules are not applied equally to everyone, right?
Boy,
they really
recent court cases have sure proved that, haven't they?
Absolutely. So I get the Three of Cups. This is for a lot of people. This is a celebration. This is, kind of a long time coming, and it does allow them to kind of breathe a little sigh of relief, where they aren't having to look behind, their shoulder all the time. Up until now, it's the Five of Pentacles. They have been in the shadows. They've been more than careful to make sure that they observe the laws, they follow the laws, they're working, they're contributing members of society, they are raising families, and they are being cautious with how they're raising their families, again, to ensure that there isn't any spotlight and so on. This is something that they are, this is something that they have been looking forward to and it's finally here. It's finally here. So I also get the Queen of Cups, that this is going to allow some of those. It's going to allow people an opportunity to sit down and have those conversations. To I wonder how many people who have been friends with someone for a very long time are now going to be told, well, yeah, we've been friends for 27 years, and you know what, I'm here illegally, and you know what I mean? Like it opens up the conversation and allows them to yes, come out of the shadows more than anything else. So I think it's a good thing. It is a good thing, and we do need to be a little more compassionate to those that have entered the U.S. Illegally at a time when maybe doing it the legal way would have put them in more danger than just coming across, right? Because these are not your rapists and your insane asylum and whatnot. These are good quality people who have contributed. So yeah. Okay, well, now that we know what the average person with just a little bit of information is going to do with that, is this something that is going to help Biden in terms of picking up more votes, for lack of a better term?
So I'm sure he won't be getting the MAGA vote anytime soon with this. But because you have to sort of look at who's his target audience, and his target audience are going to be young people, yes, and people that have friends, relatives that are impacted by this. It's to get them to get motivated. Well, I don't like what he did with Israel and Palestine, but now you can counter that with, but he did help my friend's mom get her citizenship, or he's trying to help her
give her a path to citizenship, right?
Yeah, what's can you balance those things? What's the what was the question again, Marina? Sorry.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. You're supposed to pay attention.
Somebody should have been paying attention.
Is this going to help Biden?
Help Biden? Yeah, it's playing to his strengths. And his strengths are that of his humanity and his compassion. It's funny because you're forcing the bitter pill down this lion's throat, yes, but you're doing it for its best interest, even if the lion disagrees with you. And that's, to me, going to be the 30% on the right with that one. Mm-hmm. Queen and Page of Cups. It's trying to invoke strength and compassion and bring young people into the mix, playing on their feelings and their emotions. Underneath it all is the Fool card. He's willing to do something. It's like, there's this argument, Biden doesn't do anything. Well, he's trying to do something. He can't get anything through Congress because Congress is now gridlocked, but he's trying to do something, but he's also providing a path for people going forward. So again, I think it's going to appeal to younger people on this one. In the past, you got the Queen of Pentacles. You could have babies that were brought in here illegal, that were brought in here that aren't U.S. citizens, and and I remember stories about 18-year-olds being deported to Mexico when they've never lived a day in their life in Mexico. Yes, it's ridiculous. But it's showing his values and his values for families. Currently, the Moon card. Okay, so what do we have in here? How is it going to help him? You're probably not going to see any short-term gain. People need to digest this and understand what it means. So, there's going to be a lot of squabbling. It's undecided how much it's going to help him, at least at this point. overarching energy is the Queen of Cups. People keeping their emotions in check. Well, the right wing are going to howl in protest. This is just opening the borders to allow illegal immigrants in so they can all vote and steal the election. They'll frame it like that, even though it has nothing to do with any of that. That's how it will be framed. So how do you educate people? That's the challenge here, is you have to educate people and keep their passions in check. Lesson to be learned stuff. It's about compassion. No, we're talking about compassion. We're talking about, married couples coming into this country and just giving them a path to citizenship. It's a really simple lesson, but it gets complicated because of propaganda and misinformation and disinformation on that. The outcome is the Knight of Cups. I think ultimately it works because you have the Page of Cups as the cross right now, outcoming as the Knight of Cups, with the Queen of Cups over it. So what we're having here is a progression of young people looking at the idea, well, is this what Biden's about? But then as they learn more about it, it's going to make Biden the more appealing choice rather than voting Green Party or not voting for the president at all. I think it's going to make an impact.
Yeah. This is... there's a lot of people that are going to be judging and needing to explain why Biden did what he did. This is something that actually should have been done quite some time ago, and Obama started it with the DACA and wanting to give them a pathway to citizenship. This includes them as well. I think the GOP are going to, do as much damage as they can with it in terms of telling the story and how the immigrants are coming here. They're going to take your jobs. It's not going to be a white country anymore. And, all the things that we've heard that people are accepting as being the truth. It's not. I think that this is an offer that that a lot of the Republicans, they don't like the offer, but they can't really say too much against it. Okay. I think that it is going on the GOP. It's going to be a burden, and is it going to help Biden? I think that it will, because I think a lot of people are going to see it as kind of an Ace of Wands moment, where this is the ideas, the glass is half full, and all that good stuff. So I think that it ultimately it will help, but I think that we're probably going to hear more about it as we get closer to the election. Right now, there's few other things that are kind of taking all the sound bites. What do you think, Gary?
When Dave was pulling his cards, the one that really kind of stuck out to me was the Fool card, because it's really a new path. It's just a new beginning. Let's try something different. We could go off a cliff on this, but we've got to do something because the young progressive voters are a little dissatisfied with Biden, and he needs to do something to get them energized and excited about Biden as a candidate. As given my political viewpoints, frankly, I think Biden's done a hell of a job given the environment in which he's had to operate in. He's got a very uncooperative House of Representatives. He's got a majority in the Senate, not by much, but he's got a majority in the Senate. But it's really hard to push an agenda through if you don't have all three houses at least willing to work together and do something bipartisan. So, between his doing the debt reduction for the tuitions, this now with families who have been in the United States for 10 years or longer, give them a path towards citizenship. This is something that the progressives will embrace more readily. I think it's been kind of tough for him with the Palestinian and Israel conflict that's going on over there. And he's had to really walk a fine line, honoring our long history and partnership and supportive nature that we've had with Israel with but you guys are making all the mistakes we've made in our wars. You're ignoring our advice and you're doing it, on a speed run. And he needs to push back. And
it's the ultimate read between the lines type
yes.
thing.
Yes.
And I think it's hard sometimes for the younger, more progressive voters. I think the older ones kind of get it, but the younger ones, they don't necessarily understand that he's doing the best he can. He has to walk a fine line. You have to be patient. You can't get these changes overnight. And it's at least a step or two in the right direction, which is better than where you were before this started, right? So at least we're further down the path.
But before Gary got into the tarot, I was trying to drag him into political awareness about a year or two ago. He was happily living his life oblivious to a lot of this stuff.
Oh, well, yeah.
I introduced him to Bo of the Fifth Column. And for folks who are not familiar with Bo, you really need to find him. He's on YouTube.
Yes.
He looks like a rural gun-owning conservative, and he's definitely rural. He's definitely gun-owning, but he's not a conservative, nor is he a Democrat. He's a leftist, more of a progressive.
But yeah, the thing with Bo is his message does not come off as preachy or judgmental.
Exactly.
And it's extraordinarily easy to listen to, and no one's getting triggered with what he has to say. And it gets people to put their cup down and get their emotions calmed, that Queen of Cups, and just listen.
Yes.
And he always ends it the same way. It's just a thought, thanks for watching. Yeah. And it's kind of like, it's his way of saying, okay, I've given you some information and I'm not telling you what to think. I'm not telling you how to what to do with it. It's up to you to kind of process it and decide what you think.
Yes. One of his messages to finish that thought was it was a message for progressives that progressives is a grassroots thing, and you have to start with your local elections and then build a platform, and then you go to the state, the counties, and then the states, and then the federal, because you can have AOC as president of the United States, but that's going to do nothing for the progressive agenda if she doesn't have Congress to help her, and she doesn't have the states to help her, and she doesn't have the counties in the states to help them, and the cities in those counties to help them. You need to have that whole platform in order to hold up those changes.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
totally. And while we're talking about all the great things that Biden has done, when Biden was the one who did the lowering the insulin price to $35, and Donald Trump took credit for that recently. He said, "No, Biden didn't do anything. It was my idea. I started it. He just kind of took credit for it, but I started it." So, yeah, the bride at every wedding, the deceased at every funeral. That's Trump. We did actually have a really good question that I was going to
highlight something. What was it?
Yes. Yeah. Danielle Spencer says, "What do you think about Trump going to a black church and tells lies as always? There was only 12 black people there." Yes. Yeah. The rest were as white could be.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all mega supporters. And from what I hear, it's not that he went to visit the black church. He rented out the black church to hold his little gathering in. And then from there went over to, the guy's name escapes me, but he's the fellow who said, well, if I was getting on a plane and my pilot was black, I'd wonder if he's qualified.
Oh, is that like Ben Shapiro type person?
Kind of, but yeah, it's not Ben Shapiro, but
yeah. There's a couple.
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk.
There you go. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So, is for the black voters in where he was, how are they going to view this?
Okay.
How are they going to view him renting out the church and then going in there and lying? Like, is he? I'm shuffling cards and I had justice fall out. Yeah, no. Okay.
I think at one point I was kind of smiling because I believe at the bottom of the deck was the fool card, and it's like carpetbagger.
Yes.
I'm kind of new to the tarot deck, Dave. Is there a pillar of salt card?
Well, I imagine we get like the Empress or something like that. Or not the Empress, the High Priestess. There's a couple cards with pillars in it.
Okay.
Yes.
Card. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's see. Trump. What did the community think? The black community think of Trump renting out that church? Queen of Wands. Okay.
Creative.
Well, at least Mama got paid. In some ways, it's like, okay, yeah, here's a guy coming in renting out a church. It might just be a giant ho hum. Let's see what we've got over here. Crossed with the Seven of Cups.
There you go.
And then you got the Empress underneath there. Yeah, it's the vibe I'm getting is that, that at least the church got some money. It's going to help pay some bills. The people that went to the church are, there are some black people that are going to support Trump. They obviously are not supporting their best interests.
Yep.
The white people that were there, they're out of towners. It's just, yeah, I'm just getting this vibe like, okay, some strangers came in and they're leaving. I'm not getting a lot. There's your carpetbagger card. In the past, you got the carpetbaggers coming in. They come into the church. They do their deal. The rectory gets some money. Overarching energy is the King of Cups. Some people are probably a little bit upset by it. It's like, man, why are we having these white people coming in here and using our stuff? Don't they have their own churches they can go to? So I think some members of the community are a little bit upset because they just feel like they're being used.
Yes.
And they're going to have some passions about that. The lesson to be learned, though, is the church got paid. The church is helping the members of the community. So in the end of the day, even if they don't like the message, the church is going to do something good with it. Or at least I hope the church is going to do something good with it. By the way, Gary, there's your pillars of salt.
There you go. I was wondering where they were.
But the outcome is the moon card, the pillars of salt. It's almost kind of like could you not do that again? It's like, come on, let's have a little bit of dignity here, because this guy's just using. There are enough black people in that congregation that are smart enough to understand they're being used as a prop.
Mm-hmm.
But there's probably a lot of people in the black community that would say, well, yeah, but that's how we've been used for the last 50 years, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay, keep going, 200.
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go. But, that same old thing. I mean, that's where that card was it the six of cups or seven of cups, where you're giving out. You've got the scales of justice in one hand,
6
and you're.
points.
I'm sorry, 6 points.
6 points.
Six of Pentacles. It's kind of that, hey, we're going to give back to. Yeah, this is not ideal, but we're going to give back to the community. We're kind of showing some balance here. We're not showing favoritism. If he's a man of God, then God loves everyone and God's in everyone. So, you can rationalize it, but the illusion and confusion card is probably the key card to me on that throw. Where just don't trust what you're seeing, because it may be more to this.
It says more lies from somebody who's using us or using our facility as a prop.
Yes.
Yeah. This is, somebody thought that this was a really great idea to do that. It turned out that actually all it did was it just highlighted the hypocrisy, highlighted the things that were going on that are not really beneficial to most of the congregants that are there. And I see Linda H said, note that the pastor isn't giving anything to the church, and that apparently he's somebody reported he's a crook. Media Touch reported the pastor is a crook. So I don't know if that's the case, but
Willie Westwood had an interesting comment. It says the pastor is Lorenzo Sewell. We appreciate the money, but we don't like being used in this way. That's kind of
exactly. Yeah, what you said. Yeah. I get the Seven of Swords, the thief in the camp, the and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, we're in there for the money.
Show me the money.
Yeah, somebody's reaching into the poor box there.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is. It ultimately, it turns out to be a burden. It's not going to work out. Those that they're not, the black voters aren't falling for it. Okay, so while Trump and his team and the pastor, they may have come up with an agreement to, we're going to do this and this and this, but folks ain't buying it. They're not giving in. No.
I wouldn't be surprised if there is pressure from the congregation for him to do something charitable with that money, and then he sort of he's kind of forced into some charity, some lip service, like, okay, fine, we'll have a church bakes. Well, no, we'll supply donuts, or we'll have a barbecue at the church or something like that, and spend some portion of the money for the congregants, but he'll try and keep the lion's share of it.
Yes. Yeah. And again, Linda H. Thank you, Linda. You're being very informative. And I heard that earlier too, that he knew that the pastor is a lot of trouble himself, and there were only 8 black people there. That was yes, that was what I had heard as well, is that there were not too many people there. So okay, yeah, it's not going to work. All right, let's take a quick look at what's coming up this week on Thursday, which is the debate. Or no, not this week. Next week on Thursday is the debate.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, I know. So I'm just wondering, how's that going to go? How do we see? Well, first of all, let's check and see if Trump shows up.
Yeah,
that's kind of funny.
A quick four quarter just to see if it happens.
That very thing.
Yes.
A quick 4-quarter just to see. I'm not even going to do a 7. I'm going to do a 4-quarter just to see, is he even going to show up? Because I don't want to put all the effort I
No.
can do the big one to find out why he doesn't show up, but
Do good on this, otherwise we're going to have to redo that video.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so is he going to show up? We have the Six of Pentacles. It's almost like he knows he has to because he agreed to it, and he looks feeble if he doesn't. But he's going to try. Let's see if he tries to come up with some excuses why he doesn't have to do this here. King of Swords, King of Cups. There's Biden underneath there. Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. If he does show up, okay, yeah, I got you over here. If he does show up there, it's like there's nothing there. That he gives very little. It would almost be like he shows up and storms out, type of thing. To me, that's kind of the thing I get is like he's got a plan in place. He's got this plan in place to do what he wants to do with this Knight of Wands here. He's gonna whatever involves. He's gonna blame Biden. So it's not fair. Biden, no, all the rules are favored to Biden. Biden's all drugged up, and they've been floating the Biden's drugged up thing. Matter of fact, I think I just saw Ronnie Jackson out there. That was the former Navy admiral, now a Navy captain because he got bumped down a rank, who was the White House doctor that tells everybody that jumped 6'3", 215 pounds, and a paragon of great health.
Yes.
They're going to try and basically say that Biden, oh God, there we go. And the little coins that he's handing, those are like the tablets. They're going to say Biden's drugged up. Biden didn't take a drug test, and we're not going to do this. I wouldn't be surprised if he's there. He gets, his mic time. Biden responds, and then he just says, the dude's totally drugged up. I'm not putting up with this. I'm storming out and being all dramatic. But he'd be better just not to show up at all.
Yeah, you know what? He's thinking of how he is going to get out of this. He put it out there that he wants Biden to take a cognitive test as well, because he took one and aced it, and it was given to him by Dr. Ronnie Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah. You all know Dr. Ronnie Johnson. He said, it's like, okay, you want to talk about cognitive? I think that he might pull an I'm sick. I can't. May I be excused? I'm sick. I get the Page of Pentacles. I also get the Nine of Pentacles, and I'm not seeing these so much as funds as I'm seeing these as being health related. That there's I'm going to put out there that there's something I'm dealing with an issue. That's why I can't be there. He's not preparing for the debate. He's not doing anything about it. So he just might be floating that I have a note from my mom, because I too get the King of Cups. Biden is there. Biden's ready to go.
Yeah. Biden might be talking to an empty chair.
Which is fine. Because then, he doesn't have to worry about being silenced or whatnot. I know that Trump apparently agreed to, or his team agreed to, that when it's not their turn to speak, that they will, their mics can be turned off and all that kind of stuff. But he's not preparing. He's not doing anything for this. And that tells me that he might, he may not show up, or you're right, David. He just might show up and say, mic me up. I'm ready to go. And then, first thing out there is, questions are unfair. I'm not putting up with this. I don't need to do this. Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and do the big spread on that one. I'm curious. Okay. So 5 of Pentacles being left out in the cold. That's kind of a no card here. Crossed by the Empress. It's just not in his best interest. And yeah, he might be under the weather too. Underneath is the star card. It, it's killing him in some ways because he loves being on television, being the center of attention, but he he's not in the right place for this. There's something wrong. Knight of Wands. So he's got a plan in place. We've talked about that. The plan is slowly evolving going forward. Now, what would that plan be? Well, we've seen Ronnie Jackson say that Biden's all drugged up, and we've seen Sean Hannity say, well, people out here are saying that Trump maybe shouldn't do it. So I think that's the plan that's moving forward here. Overarching energy is the Six of Cups. Yeah, there's going to be some excuse that he comes up with. Something that tries to help him save face. Like, if I show up to that thing, I would just crush Biden. He's just a child compared to me.
Yeah.
Type of energy. Page of Wands. He's the lesson to be learned. His messaging. Oh, this is a naivety card. The messaging about his actions. This debate's coming forward, and he realizes that Trump. I think I had this with my reading with Gary, that Trump never plays on a level playing field. It's always tilted in his favor. And right now, he's naively accepted a game where he's on a level playing field.
Yeah.
Out comes the Knight of Pentacles. There's movement here on values. Could be money. It would not, again, and we got the Five of Coins underneath there. It would not surprise me if Trump suddenly has a health reason or a conflict that prevents him from attending. If he shows up, it'll probably be ratings gold. I'm sure the media companies would love him to be there.
What if his parole officer said he couldn't go?
Might use
You
that.
know? I
Yeah.
have to report to my parole officer,
Oh yeah, he it's interesting, that Knight of Pentacles. Can you imagine if that Knight of Pentacles is him attending and then violating his gag orders repeatedly? He gets fined, then he's going to say how he can't debate because these gag orders. And that could be the other thing. He's going to probably say the gag orders prevent him from being able to debate because he's worked on that narrative for a while now. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens too.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's. I start off with the Two of Pentacles, the making the decision. What are we going to do? Is this going to work? How are we going to play this? I then get the Seven of Cups. And that's the crossing card is the Seven of Cups. You're right. In the past, it's always been what was best for him. Right. I do things my way, and this is all that works out. What's happening now though is again that the Nine of Pentacles. I think this is Biden is prepared. Biden is ready to go. Biden is very he's got his ducks in a row. He knows what he's going to talk about. There's not too many surprises for Biden that are going to come in. I think that Trump might have with the King of Pentacles. He might have an event. He just might have an event because I also get that Ten of Cups. Somebody's going to be very happy. I don't think it's going to be Trump. So I think that maybe, he'll probably, okay. I meant to show you this. Bottom of the deck was this, the Seven of Cups. So the illusion, the delusion, I can't control this. And no, I don't think that he shows up. I don't know.
We will see soon enough. Yeah, it's his certainly, and I've thrown this out there a couple of times, and I feel like I'm backpedaling. because I had some things where saying it's a health event and it's going to be out there for everybody to see. The assumption I always had was it's going to be a race between his heart and his head, a stroke versus a heart attack.
Yes.
And it could just be something as simple as the progression of his dementia, because
Yes.
his dementia is, it's like when I look at it from a simple point of view, it's out there for everybody to see.
Yes.
It's the inane ramblings and getting the names wrong all the time and stuff like that. It's like you cannot not see it. Even his supporters are seeing it because he does it at all the rallies.
No.
And then the teleprompters just mysteriously go down all the time, and then he tells his stupid shark and battery story.
I know.
Which, the comments are having fun time that Biden should have a plastic shark. I think he should have a shark and a 9-volt battery on his podium. Which one?
Yes.
Which one, Donald, is it? Is it the shark or is it the 9-volt battery?
I must admit that when on Friday, when Allie, Val, and I, when we did the story in the cards, and it was a tribute to Trump's birthday, which was on Friday, and on the little thumbnail that I used for it, I did have a crying baby, and I did have a little shark that was coming at the baby, just because I know how much he loves sharks
and babies.
Yes, yeah. Just on the off chance that, Donald would ever watch my channel. And if you see him, boot him out.
Lena Rodriguez has had a lot of fun with them. It's like, I would love to see him on stage name off all his grandchildren. Have him line up there and tell everybody their names.
Yes.
To prove that he actually knows his grandchildren's names. That would be must-see TV.
Totally. You know what? I want to remind everyone we're at, I think we've got like 306 in the chat. Thank you. Yeah, it's wonderful to see you all here. I love reading how you're all interacting with each other, and what your comments. It is absolutely fabulous. This is a great community. It's a very supportive community. It's a very educated community. So just wanted to remind all of you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you're from my channel, go over, make sure that you subscribe to David at Tarot by the Bay, Twin Tarot, and Tarot of the Seven Seas. There you go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then, make these guys more famous than they already are.
God. I figure we'll be YouTube famous the first time someone stops us at the supermarket and says, "Hey, aren't you?"
Hasn't happened yet.
Not yet.
Besides, why should you be the only ones that suffer? Make other people suffer too.
Well, I think it was on Friday that Gary stopped into the chat, and we thought it was you. So
yes,
yes,
I was at work.
Hi, David.
I happened to be doing something, and I saw that this was going live. I thought, I'll just drop in. For me, it's research and education as much as anything else, because I'm still trying to learn how these tarot decks work and the interpretation. So it's just kind of fun to kind of fall into it.
Absolutely. And I think that tarot is one of those things that it's a forever learning process. Just about the time that you think, okay, I've got this figured out, there's a new slant that comes in. And all of a sudden now you're looking at the card going, okay, I didn't see that before. I know it's been here all along. How did I not miss that little red cardinal in the corner? That kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So, all righty. Do we have time for one more quick question?
Yeah, we can do one more.
Okay. All righty. Let me take
I've got a little bit of beer left, so I'm good.
Oh, good. Oh, good. All right. Very quickly. Let's do this. Mega is apparently Dolly Parton.
Oh, boy, did the Federalist Society step in it on that one. they,
Yeah,
they
there's
didn't just step in it; they walked all over their house and living room with it.
the comments on Twitter were amazing. It's like, they've come after Dolly. Saddle up, we ride at dawn.
Yes.
What
That
kind of
woman
sick?
is an American treasure. You just simply do not
No.
do
Why
No.
don't you just go trash? Why don't you just go knock over Betty White's headstone too while you're at it?
Yes.
Maybe go aid Jimmy Carter's house.
Yeah.
Who else are you gonna go after? Maybe Bob Hope is. You do donuts on his former estate or something along those lines.
Well, Bob Hope had a little bit of a history, so let's
Okay,
let's not put too much of a halo on him.
Yeah, but still, yeah, absolutely. This is I couldn't.
That'd be like saying Tom. You could say that like about Tom Petty, for example. There was a man that was just a good human being. Period. Full stop. But
Yeah.
and the Federalists they were getting all riled up because Dolly Parton she's a very she's Christian, she's very
Yes.
very religious, but she refuses to use her religion as an excuse for hatred and intolerance.
Yeah.
And
she walks the walk.
They were trying to make their point that way, and it's just like, if you ever wanted to show how not to be a Christian, the Federalist Society just underscored it.
Exactly. So I'm shuffling, and look, the star fell out.
Yeah.
Do not touch Dolly. Don't. Seriously, just don't do it. There are some things that are just stupid, and that's one of them. No, because you go after Dolly, and I'm sure that Jesus is going to come down and smack the shit out of you. So, yeah. What do you think of this, David?
I'm outraged.
Yeah.
We got the Hierophant here. Big organizations. This is almost like this is like attacking Dollywood and everything that Dolly stands for, because again, she is public with her spirituality and her religion, but she gives back so much to the community, starting off from very humble beginnings to rise to who she was. As far as the right wing organizations, I don't think it was the Federalist Society. It was like the New Federalist magazine or something like that. This article.
Okay, because I saw Federalist. Maybe I just
it was something like that. This is going to backfire on them big time, and any of the MAGA folks that support it, it's going to backfire on them big time. Why? Because we nostalgically love Dolly Parton. She has never done anything in her life that would cause anybody to do anything other than love this woman for who she is.
Yes.
And it's kind of that matter of fact. It's like, you just went after Dolly Parton. Your head needs to be examined. The world loves Dolly Parton. The only thing that's going to happen bad out of this is you are self-destructing. It's now you got that New Federalist magazine. You've got these fake Christians that take the Lord's name in vain. And here's the thing: Dolly Parton's not going to say a bad word about any of them. She will be very forgiving of them along those lines. And she might be just a touch hurt that she's being gone after like that. But at the same time, I think Dolly understands that people make mistakes, people sin. It's not her job to judge it. She's off living her best life, doing God's work, as it were, being an earth angel to people.
Exactly. I started off with the King of Swords. This
harsh truth.
There are some things that you just don't do. I also got the Two of Swords. People are going to start making decisions. it's not working out for them, and the decisions that are coming against them are coming in pretty fast, right? As everyone kind of, said their little piece, like, you don't touch Dolly. I also got the Ace of Swords. This is all about truth. This is all about seeing. Yeah, just seeing it for what it is. They are not picking up any humanitarian awards on this one, and it was ridiculous. Whoever thought this was a good idea should be fired.
I could see, and I'd love to see the country stars do this. Bring it up during their concerts, and just basically say that was wrong. Dolly Parton is a treasure. Do not go after Dolly. I would love to see Nashville just come together and just basically say, no, off limits, out of bounds. Go F yourself. Exactly. You can do what you want. You're leaving Dolly the heck alone. Yeah. Close ranks, baby.
Absolutely. You know what? It would not surprise me one little bit if Dolly comes up with a song about that. Love your fellow man no matter what color he is. And yeah, because that would be something that she would do. Absolutely. She is so non-judgmental. She is literally living the word of Christ.
Yeah,
living the Bible, not just pretending.
Yeah.
Right?
Not holding the Bible upside down for a rally for pictures,
Exactly.
Walk the walk.
Exactly. Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here, you guys. Thanks, everyone. Before I forget, I did want to mention, if you go to my community tab, I've got a 2-hour course that I'm running on Sunday, the 23rd of this month, and it's called Changing the Track. And it's all about how to listen to some of the things that kind of make up the soundtrack in your mind that you automatically default to, particularly when you're under stress. And it's that self-talk that isn't really serving you anymore. And it's how to identify it, how to get rid of it, and how to replace it with something positive. So that's what I've got happening on my channel. You guys, thank you. I always enjoy these.
It's good to see you, Marina.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was reading the comments real quick here. Yeah. Somebody had thrown out something about Jason Aldean. I wanted to see what that was all about. But no, thank you again for having both of us on here.
You're a brave soul.
Exactly. Our poor sisters had to deal with us for decades.
That's all right. I can handle it. I think I can.
You did.
I can. Yeah.
Anyway, after the thing tonight, she's rocking herself in a chair. What was I thinking?
Well, it's not to tell these family secrets, but when my mom couldn't handle it, the wooden spoon generally came out. So
yeah.
You know what? I love that shirt that you have. Yeah, the wooden spoon survivor. I think absolutely. Yeah,
it's a total truth shirt there.
Yes,
the 70s were tough on my butt.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So no, I really enjoy doing this, and we'll do it again in 2 weeks' time. So that'll be July the 2nd. And by then we'll be able to talk about the debate and hopefully a few other things. Looking forward to things that are happening. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I feel like this is there's things happening every day, but I'm excited to be here to witness it.
Aren't you a sadistic, masochistic? Well, actually, I get it, because right now I'm optimistic, even because we've gotten some good news, and there hasn't been like the 5 pieces of bad news to knock the support legs out from underneath it. One other thing, it was one of my videos that went up today. Steve Bannon,
Oh,
who's been told to report to federal prison on July 1st, is trying desperately to get the DC Court of Appeals to take his case, and it's likely they won't. He wants to go to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court's pretty much done for the year. They're just giving out decisions.
Oh
They're
yeah.
not going to hear that case. They're not going to stay it because the DC Court of Appeals won't take it because the likelihood of him winning is pretty low, so they won't take it because that's part of the criteria. Supreme Court, it's not novel. They're not going to take it. And because he has outstanding charges in New York for the state prosecution of the We Build the Wall fraud,
yes.
he cannot go to Club Fed. He has to actually go from a minimal security prison to a low security prison.
Yes.
And that's going to be in prison from July 1st to basically November 1st. He cannot get out early. He's got to serve all 4 months. Even better, beginning of September is the New York case that got delayed. It was supposed to happen the end of May. The New York case comes up in the beginning of September. It's a criminal case, which means he has to be there. So he'll be out of the low security prison, and the most convenient prison to put him into is Rikers Island.
Oh, good grief.
So when he has to go to court, when he's done with court, Rikers Island is where he gets to go spend his time.
Oh my God.
I love that for him.
Stevie Three Shirts couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
and he is screaming like a little grot that, but I'll be in prison during the prime election and people need me to tell them what to think. It's like, dude, you should have served your sentence 2 years ago when you were sentenced to it. You chose to fight it. You chose this path. The timing at this point. Congratulations. You by kicking the can down the road, you really made things inconvenient for yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And I love that for him.
It is what it is. So yes, folks, Stevie Three Shirts. That's what I like to call him because why not? Why not? Wonderful. Okay, well, I have a few more of your videos that I need to check out. So I'm going to do that. Again, thank you everyone for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. And thank you guys. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks for having us.
Take care. Bye all.